neurological insufficiencies, immediately, like they're going to send you to them. So not necessarily everybody that you would think would be in need, we need them. So with that said, Game Day Men's Health, Virginia has more information. I encourage you to go to our Instagram, Facebook, for both companies, that's how I'm saying. It's like, oh yeah, I did do this. So we're celebrating 20 years this year, and I welcome everybody to come to our ribbon cutting. 20 years, Salt Street is 2005, September 17th, St. Matthews. So it's kind of funny because Virginia knows it. These are my mini hats. I'm involved in a lot with golf because of my husband. I'm involved in a lot with Game Day Men's Health because of my husband. And then when Salt Street first started the franchise, Louisville didn't have a blueprint, so they, believe it or not, would not let us open up our individual page, so I became chip level. So those are my main hats, and I thank you all. And if you need anything, we're around. We have a catering services specialist line for a lot of people that can't have trouble getting online. If you have question specials, we have school specials that are not online. And like I said, we have three businesses. One's in St. Matthews. Middletown is 15 years old, and we opened Shepherdsville just about a year and a half ago. Thank you.
Thank you. All righty. So the moment we've all been waiting for. You want to come on up?
Sure. Got to make my grand entrance from all the way in the back.
I know. That was good.
I didn't plan it. How are you all? Good. Thank you all for being here. This was quite an honor. Daniel called me, and he's my life insurance guy. And I was like, hey, Daniel, what's up? I thought we were going to talk about policy. He asked me to speak here, and I was floored. So I appreciate the opportunity. Thank you, Daniel. Thank you to the St. Matthews Young Professionals.
And you'll have to do your password.
Thank you. So, real quick, who's heard me speak before? Is anybody? Time or two. Yeah, Justin said. I try to be as engaging as possible, and I like conversation, except for when I'm turning my back to the audience. So, there we go. So, we're going to talk about, kind of the mentality that is required to be in sales. Before I get too much further into it, I do want to say a couple things. Please support the Corsair for Children's charities. The kids need it. They've saved my nephew's life multiple times. He was born with some really terrible medical issues, and because of Corsair Charities, he's alive today. And that's how much this room and this business and this organization means to me. Also, funny enough, Salsaritas was my oldest daughter's first job. So it was nice to be able to meet them and the owner. But so we'll talk about sales mentality today. A little bit about me if you don't know me. So from 2003 through 2009, I was a firefighter EMT. I collected for Corsair Crusade for Children every year. I was the guy with the boot, standing out at the street corners. I got to meet quite a few people, including Dave. Dave was one of my first paramedic supervisors. And I got burned out. Sorry, bad pun, but that's what it was. It was just burnout. When you work, I worked third shift in the West End for a long time. A lot of people hurt each other. It's, late nights, it's long days. It's very, very difficult to do. And I thought, gosh, I want to get into something where I can enjoy people. And I had a friend of mine who worked at CarMax at the time. He goes, hey man, you got to come over here. This is a great job. It's a great organization. The people are nice. They'll tell you what to say. They'll tell you what to do. And I was like, man, I can't sell anything. He goes, trust me. You can. And at the time, this was 2007. This was right before the market crashed. So I showed up, and when I showed up, it was incredible. People were licking doorknobs, door handles to get they were laying on them. You can't have this car. That's how much frenzy we had in the market in 2007. The market was incredible for cars. And then I started in October, and by February, we were in the full throes of the recession. I knew nothing about sales. I had really no background in it. I wasn't even very likable, just to be completely honest with you. I talk to people like a cop does a lot of times, very stern, very authoritative, and that doesn't work in sales. And I learned from a whole lot of no's and a whole lot of rejection how to do it. So Louisville's my home. I've traveled and coached in a couple different cities. I ended up staying at CarMax for about 8 years, and I ended up being a sales trainer, and I would travel around the region, and I would teach people how to sell when they would grand open a store. So we'd hire 50, 60 people, we would train them up, and to give you an idea, this was 2009, 10, 11, 12. If I hired 60 people, I had to hire 90 people to replace those 60. So our attrition rate was going to be 1.25 to 1.5 for everybody that I hired. That's how hard sales is, folks. Even when you've got a great organization, great products, great people, sales is not easy. The market can get tough, the market can be better, but it's not an easy job. That's my wife and 2 daughters. Currently, you guys know me, principal broker, front runner real estate. I love real estate. I will die doing real estate. Mortgages, Jefferson Waters and I started a mortgage brokerage. The benefit to having an organization where people can see both sides of a transaction, because mortgages and real estate go hand in hand. It helps people get to closing and with a lot smoother process because we understand what's happening on both sides of the transaction. And I own AJ Schreiner Spirits. I am 5th generation in the whiskey industry. So this is our family brand. This is bottle number 256 of batch 1. So whoever wins this today, I hope you have a great pour. It makes a great old fashioned. So that's about me. So I don't know. Maybe it'll work. There we go. This is the Business Booster series. Typically we do this once a year, spring or fall semester. We do it at the 12th floor of the Flash Cube building. It's free sales training. Anybody can come. And we'll take one semester, we'll do one topic: influence, persuasion, negotiations, charisma, whatever it might be, something that you can learn from. And hopefully you walk out every class, it's typically 5 to 6 classes on one topic, with a new piece of information that you can implement that day to be better with your next client and increase your conversion rates. So if you guys would like to be on the email list for that, just make sure I get your card. And I'm just going to start doing this. So, small businesses. Feels a lot like lifting a rocket off of a stand here. So, how many of you guys work for yourselves, business owners? Okay. How many of you guys work in an organization? Okay. Sales is the propulsion that lifts the rocket off the stand. Without the salesperson, without transactions, that business goes nowhere. You can build a really fancy rocket. If it can't get off the stand, right, you got nothing. Propulsion, your business, your ability to sell, your ability to convert, your ability to get people to believe in you, the product, and the company, it's what's going to differentiate that company from being successful or unsuccessful, you from being successful or unsuccessful. How many people are 100% commission? If you're a business owner, you are. Okay? I want you to think of yourself as the organization. Even if you're W-2, you're an independent contractor. You should always be thinking of yourself in terms of, this is my business. Because everything that you sell, you're going to get a percentage of that sale. So you should look at it as if it's your own and take responsibility as if it's your own. So we're going to talk about rockets a little bit because I guess I'm a big kid at heart and I like this type of stuff. Okay, so what is sales? If you guys were going to boil it down, what is sales? And the most basic, fundamental stuff.
Helping people.
Helping people? What else?
Professional problem solver.
Oh, that's a good one.
Connecting people with services.
Connecting people with, like, brokerage, right? I have 2 of them. That's what I do.
Building relationships.
Building relationships. What else?
Problem solving.
Problem solving. Sales in its most basic element is building value. You're solving the problem. You have to get people to believe that you're the right person to solve that problem for them. That the product will solve that problem for the person. That's why we have to discover, because we can tell you everything. When you're trying to sell a car, you never talk about the air conditioner, the radio, the speakers, the tires. You don't talk about those things because they don't matter. Everybody can see them, they know them, they looked at the car online. What they're trying to solve is the problem of, hey, I need more room in the back seat for my car seats. Hey, I like to take my car off-roading. I need a Jeep, I need a Subaru. I saw an Outback in the parking lot, right? All of those things, I need safety for my kid. All of those are the reasons that people buy. They're not buying for the needs, or excuse me, for the features. They're buying on needs and wants, okay? So sales is building value. If we can get it to go. All right, so let's talk about price or cost versus value. I know you've seen this one, right, Holly? So I walk into Costco, and I love Costco. I love the TVs. I am a moth to a flame. I have a lot of TVs. I don't need another TV, but if there's a $5,000 TV, 85 inches, all the hertz, 4K, 8K, whatever it is, I'm going to stop and look at it. Now, do I need that TV at $5,000, $6,000? No, not really. Would I buy it at that price? Probably not, unless it's a really good deal. But let's say that same 8K, 85-inch TV was $500. Would I buy it? Would you buy it? Retail value on it's $8,000 and you can get it for $500. Would you buy it? Because the value, even if you don't need it, the value is much higher than the price. Our job is to build the value in the solution, or is to build the value in whatever you're selling, to build the value in yourself to solve that problem. So when we're looking at price or cost, oh, come on, there we go. There are 5 things, typically, that someone's going to consider. When you're going to buy something or you're going to sell something, people are going to go, can I do it? Is it worth it? Those are the 2 questions as adults we look at every problem with. Can I do it? Is it worth it? Is it worth me to spend this time? Is it worth the money? Is it worth the effort to switch over? Let's say you sell IT programs. Do I want to take the time to download all this new data, train up my staff on this new program? Am I going to get the results out of it that I need? That's what we're looking for. We're looking for price, the cost to the consumer is going to be money, effort, time, urgency, or need. And that's where they're looking, can I do it? Is it worth it? Now, on the value part, if they don't see the value, come on. Okay, this is what we're going to see. If they don't see the value, you're going to get these objections. It's going to be hesitations, it's going to be objections, it's going to be obstacles that they'll put in your way. All those things are what people present when they haven't seen the value in what you're trying to build value in. It's a real simple thing. And you guys do it. You do it yourself. I don't know if that's right for me right now. Hey, maybe call me back in 6 months. You know, that sort of a thing. So, can I do it? Is it worth it? And next slide is,
Really good.
yeah. Thank you, Justin.
I got you.
So what's our goal in a sales engagement? If we're actively selling to somebody, what's our goal? So sales is the act of building value. What's our goal inside of an engagement?
Uncovering the problem.
Okay, that's one part of it. Mm-hmm. Identifying what makes them tick, right? What?
Building a relationship and trust.
Building a relationship and trust, and hopefully rooms like this help us do that, right? That's the great thing about the chambers. What's another goal?
Show your value.
Show your value. But let's say we're showing our value. What do we want to do with that client?
Listen from their pocket to your pocket.
There you go. We want to progress them through the process. Because every one of our sales should have a process that you know. Okay, so for you, might be building value with realtors. You should have an idea of what process you go through from the time you meet somebody just as maybe a cold lead as a realtor to, you know, getting them to use you for all your home inspections, right? We want to know, you know, hey, what is it and where are we in the sales process and how far we can take them through that sales process. So, awareness. This is what we're doing in this room right now. We're creating awareness around who we are, what we do, what we sell, the problems that we can solve. You guys know I do real estate. I do mortgages. I sell whiskey, right? That's what I do. I am marketing. Now, for most of us, if we are outside sales, we're doing sales and marketing at the same time. They're actually 2 different things. Marketing is creating an awareness of who you are, what you do, how you do it, and why you're the best to be doing it. The evaluation, the purchase, and the intent is actually inside the sales process. So let me give you an example. If you work at T-Mobile, somebody walks in, they want a phone, okay? They want to switch a carrier, they want a phone. They already have an interest. You can't see the gray out on the projector here. They've considered the other alternatives, and they came into your store with intent. All you have to do is just really be good at taking them through a small process. If we are outside sales, we have to create the awareness to get them to start in the process with us. So if we don't do that, we're not going to have a sales process to start with. So your marketing is as important or more important than your sales process. And just to give you an idea, this is a simple sales process for car sales. Okay, if you guys have never seen it, it's called the waterfall or a stair step. So let's say somebody comes into a dealership, you're going to greet 100% of people. Okay, you're going to greet everybody that walks into the dealership. The interview, who said determining what brought them in, finding the pain points, right? Okay, Jimmy Ray. So 90% of people, hey, you get to interview them because you're not going to be able to actually talk to everybody who walks in a car dealership. There's a lot of Heismans. You guys know this? You guys seen this one? They don't want to talk to you. It's scary to them. Because, you know, car salesmen have a reputation, right? They earned it. I did it for 10 years, so believe me, I can say that. Test drive, you're not going to convert everybody from an interview to a test drive, but you're going to get a high percentage. Then you're going to take half of those people, you're going to put them in a finance application, and in the old days, you would close about 10%. This was before the days of really prominent internet media. You could sell a lot more cars now because people have done most of their shopping online. So you can just literally stand there and be an order taker. In the old days, the internet wasn't as common, 2007 through 2015. So I might close 1 out of every 10 people. Okay? But we talked about marketing and awareness. We got to get the people to come in the door if we want to start the process, right? So the machine did that for us. Our job is to progress someone through our sales process, and we need to make sure we know where we are in that process. So to give you an example, conversion rates, you're going to lose 1 person here, 3 people here, 4 people here, 5 people here. And this is actually where you are in the sales process for real estate. So this is real estate. So we start, first thing we do, introduce, we do an interview, and then we go, okay, you want to buy? Well, let's go partner with a great loan officer, okay, to get you pre-approved. And we know probably 7 out of 10 people are going to go ahead and get pre-approved. The other ones, they won't. And we know that they're out. They self-selected out of the sales process by not getting a finance application done. So why, now that we got the basics covered, why does sales suck? Because I like the name. I'm curious to why it was chosen. Because I love sales. The back row. Well, I tell you what, I want to hear your all's answers last. I want to hear everybody up front first. Why does sales suck?
It's hard. Variables outside of your control.
Oh, that's a good one. Variables outside your control. It's hard. What else?
I'm with you. I don't agree.
Well,
love what I do.
I love sales. So I know I'm on a.
It sucks when something that is completely out of my control just T-bones
Yes.
what you've worked so hard to, So
Yeah.
if something was going to suck.
And that a lot of times is the organization you're with, right? Like you've got other people dropping the ball. They tell you, hey, this is the level of service we want to provide. We're providing that service. Something outside of our control comes in, and then you look like egg on your face, right?
Yep.
Yeah, believe me, we've been there.
Well, you kind of said it at the very beginning. Sales suck if you don't know what you're doing.
If you don't know what you're doing.
It's when you're thrown into a situation that says, okay, now go sell, and you don't have the first aspect of selling. I've done what you've done. I've built companies
Yep.
and I've done sales training. My philosophy is selling me, not product.
Well, so what's the first thing we sell in any sales engagement?
Us.
We sell us.
So
Okay.
if they don't like you, they're not going to buy from you no matter what you sell.
Right. I like Daniel. Daniel's a buddy of mine. That's why he does my life insurance. Right? Because he's the shit and he's a great guy. Right? So I love Daniel. And so that's the reason I use Daniel. Right? I like him. New York Life? Okay. Sorry. No offense to New York Life. But I get life insurance to a lot of places. I choose the person, the rep that I trust. Okay. What else? Why else does sales suck?
It's a long process.
Can be. What do you sell? Marketing? Okay. Marketing for tell me more.
B2B.
B2B? Okay. What else? What other reasons?
Daily grind, you have to be on it every day.
That's right.
You can't have it all day.
Yeah.
I think the effort you put into it and then you reject it.
Yeah.
So you get a lot of no's before you get the yeses.
So I'm hearing lack of knowledge. No comment. So I'm hearing lack of knowledge, the effort, the time between maybe meeting someone and creating that marketing awareness and the close where you get your paycheck, the challenges you might have inside of an organization. So those are all really great points. So now the back row.
Oh, it was a very catchy title.
It was a all right.
Very catchy title. It was purely marketing just to capture people who thought it sucked.
So I told my wife, I was like, I'm teaching this class, and she goes, oh, what's it going to be on? I said, I'm working on it. It's called Sales Sucks. And she just looked at me. And I was like, I didn't name it.
Rage bait is really good.
Rage bait?
Yeah.
Is that what this is?
Yeah.
See, I'm still learning, guys. You guys can teach me something.
So basically, he's saying he wanted a room full of people pissed off at you.
I think it's when you say things in the negative, it kind of kicks a certain part of your brain. So this is actually from the Middletown Chamber. Please don't hate me. This is a picture from when they opened Publix. And we talk about sales sucks, it's difficult. What do you guys see in this photo from just, let's say, 8 months ago? If you're looking at this group, you walk in, you're networking, what do you see?
Everybody with their backs to
Backs to you, okay. What else?
They're broken off into small groups.
Small groups, good one, Justin. What else?
Wearing name tags.
Some of them wearing name tags.
They don't look excited. I don't see it small.
Jimmy, tell me more about that. Why don't they look excited to be there?
I don't know why they don't look excited. They definitely just.
Well, I'm not talking about the reasons. They're like, the deli's not as good as I thought. This is what they're doing, right?
Yeah, their body language.
Body language. You know, posture's not necessarily great. Hands in pockets.
Oh, it's not? It's not you, as I say, because you look really good from the back. Yeah, that's what I was thinking.
I do like a suit jacket,
It's gotta
though.
be him.
I do like a suit jacket. So the first thing we're going to see is, let's say you're networking and you walk into this room. It's uncomfortable. Has anybody been new to a networking room? How do you feel? Out of place, awkward, uncomfortable, right? That uncomfortable feeling is coming out in everybody's body language. And people tend to group in clusters of 3 to 4. So you'll find they're like little clusters. And you walk in, you should be able to identify cluster, 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 cluster. And they typically look at the person in the group with the highest status. Okay, so somebody who's been networking the longest, someone who can offer a feeling of significance. So when I see Lily and I walk up, I give Lily a big hug. I'm like, hey, it's great to see you. This is awesome. That person's going to remember me. It's going to make them feel comfortable. And you know what? You may not be able to shake them for the rest of the time because they're going to stick right next to you. Okay? Now, just a couple things that you guys should know about this. That's how I got you. Well, I guess. I don't know. You should do it genuinely. You shouldn't put on a show. This should be genuine. There's only one group of 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. If you have a group of 5 people, the group will dissolve in 30 seconds or less. It's been statistically studied. If you want to break up someone's group so you can walk in and try to talk to somebody, bring in a 5th person. It works. Works every time. Okay? Or if you want to leave a group, bring in the 4th. And it's kind of back away. Okay? Into the night. I don't see you guys anymore. So that's what this is about. And if I can get my clicker to work. Clicker. There we go. So now you walk in, you know who's uncomfortable, and who's uncomfortable is an easy target. Okay? And I don't mean that in a negative way. I mean, let me walk up to you and make you feel comfortable. Let me shake your hand. Let me get your hands out of your pockets and spend some time with you. Because that's how we build relationships. That's how these chamber meetings become a value. It is uncomfortable. Everybody there is uncomfortable. Okay? Unless you've done it over and over and over again, unless you know the people in the room, it becomes uncomfortable. These things really work to help you and your business. This is part of the marketing. This is part of the sales. So, more clicker, come on. We have 2 primary mental hurdles for most new salespeople. I'm not going to say that everybody in this room has these mental hurdles because some of you have worked past them. But I trained brand new salespeople, young guys straight out of college, for years and years and years. And they always had 2 same objections. Number 1, I don't want to feel like a con man. Because sales, for some people, can feel sleazy or unethical. Would you guys agree?
Yeah.
Why does it feel that way?
I think, especially for new people,
Mm-hmm.
or you're in 100% commission, and maybe you're not as confident with the product, because I've been there,
Mm-hmm.
then you're like, you get that commission desperation going,
Yep.
and you're like, I need that, and it oozes out.
The desperation is a big deal, right? If they can feel that you're desperate, you lost the deal. Whether or not they need it, you lost it, right? What else?
If they need it, they'll just go get it from somebody else.
Right. And that's the imposter syndrome a lot of the time.
And it kills their confidence in me.
Mm-hmm. It absolutely does. So let's talk about con men versus salespeople. Does anybody know who this guy is? This is the most prolific con man in history, ever. Documented history. He was from Hungary. He came to New York. He had like 3 stops: Hungary, Paris, France, and New York.
Ponzi.
Huh?
Is it Ponzi?
No, that's actually number 2. Charles Ponzi's number 2. His picture's up here next. So this guy had all kinds of tricks. He would say, hey, there's a box. You put in one of your dollars, one of your 1880s to 1934 dollars, which is when he was active before he went to jail. And then it was supposed to take 6 hours to print another dollar just like it. Basically, it's the first counterfeiting sales operation. And what would happen is he'd say, hey, it takes 6 hours to print one bill, so let's pick a big bill, and then we'll put it in there. Well, he'd just wait 6 hours, drive to wherever you went to, and say, hey, look at this really great bill. And people were like, oh my God, this box works. And they would buy it, and it never worked, obviously. So that was one of the starts. He actually printed and counterfeited the letterhead from the government of Paris. And what he would do is he would call all the scrap yards, and he would say, the Eiffel Tower, it's too much maintenance. We can't afford it anymore. Come take it down. We're going to sell you the scrap. And he sold the Eiffel Tower 3 times. He got into deep trouble with Al Capone. So he was in New York. He borrowed $50,000 from Al Capone. Al Capone knew he was a con man. And he was like, oh, well, it's just my business. I'm an integrity guy. They're always selling integrity. Con men are always selling integrity. And so he went to Al Capone. He got $50,000. Like, I can come in. I hope I don't look intimidating. Come on in, man. Have a seat. So he went to Al Capone. He got $50,000. He put it in a safety deposit box. Said, hey, the scheme I was running fell through. Here's your $50,000 back. Al Capone thought, oh man, this guy's trustworthy. So then he took $5,000 to do something else and disappeared. Well, Al Capone was chasing him. The government was chasing him, and eventually the government got him before Al Capone did. Maybe they shared a cell. Say what?
I said lucky him.
Yeah, exactly. Charles Ponzi should be next. Okay. Oh, that was Victor Ludwig. Victor Ludwig. So Charles Ponzi, we all know him. That's just the reason that Ponzi schemes have their name. Same thing. And then we've got guys like this, which is our modern day Ponzi scheme. Bernie Madoff. Okay? What these guys are confidence men. They're salespeople who use the sales process and the ability to sell for evil. The thing that makes people not be able to feel like really comfortable selling is that the sales skills and confidence skills are very similar. It's the integrity of the person is what matters. Okay? So what we have to think of every time we walk into a room is, am I keeping myself, holding myself with respect? Do I have a good reputation? Because your reputation precedes you. I know there's a lot of people who are not in this room that you may have never met, but you know to stay away from them. You guys agree? Okay. So we got that. And then we have imposter syndrome. Well, actually, let's go over this real quick. A hacker, a locksmith, and somebody who knows how to fight. A locksmith can get into your house, you'll never know it. Right? He's got the skill, he doesn't use it for evil, very much like sales. A hacker could work for the government, could protect us against Russia, China, who knows, Vietnam, all these governments that want to do us harm. So it's a skill that you have that you can use for good. And fighting. Just because you know how to fight, people don't go around beating people up. As a matter of fact, more often, if they know how to fight, they don't engage in it, right? Because it hurts, and they know it. So these 3 skills are very much like your sales skills. You can use it for good or for evil. You have to see yourself as someone who wants to do well, and the benefit of the engagement of what you're selling needs to go to the client. That's the difference. Who benefits? Cui bono. It's the Latin term for who benefits. Who benefits? The client should benefit. You benefit by getting your commission. The company benefits by selling a product, but the client needs to benefit by you solving their problem. I know we had that one out here before. So, the imposter syndrome. Really common. Who's helped to deal with this? I've dealt with it. Chris, how did you deal with it? Like when did that happen for you?
When I first started.
Yep, at the law firm?
Yep.
And,
I talked to more attorneys, and I realized that we're all idiots too.
yeah, I would say that everybody who holds a realtor designation is really brilliant, right? No. Right? I think we know that's not true. Imposter syndrome is what I think others know, what I know. And the reality is you pretty much know what other people do know. And if you don't know it, you have to rely on something else. And there's 2 tips I'll give you guys for getting through imposter syndrome in your career if you have it. Number 1 is be confident in your ability to learn. It's how you handle not knowing, especially when you're new in an engagement. If you're new in a certain type of work, it's how you handle not knowing. Can I learn fast enough to achieve this result? Do I think of myself as a smart person? Yeah. Well, then you know what? You can go out and figure it out, or you need to have a mentor. And I highly recommend having a good mentor, because if you don't have a good mentor, it's kind of like this, but you've never trained. You're going to throw 225 on the bar and it's going to crush you, because you don't have a spotter. You don't have anybody to help you do it safely. Do it with some regulation in these guidelines. Here's how we achieve the goal for this client, and they teach you because it's good for them. So I hope wherever you are and whatever you're doing, you can look for a mentor or you have one already. If you don't, it makes everything tougher. Okay, now the harder the market gets, so whose market's affected by interest rates like mine? Everybody? Okay. So is this market easier or is this market harder? For most of us, it's harder. Would you guys agree? Okay. So if we have a harder market and we have a mentor, what's a question that you have to have and ask yourself about your mentor or about the organization you're in? And to succeed.
Their success rate. Like I want to know that they have been able to handle hard markets. Because let's face it, hard markets are also in a cycle. So I want to know that in a hard market, my mentor's been able to.
Yep. There you go. Exactly. If you're in a tough market and you find yourself lacking success, you need to look at the people around you. You're only going to be as successful as your mentor most of the time. It's hard to exceed what they're doing because they're teaching you their behaviors, and you can get a lot of bad behaviors. So we'll get to this. We're going to come back to it. So let's talk about effort. Who said effort? It's a lot of work. We've got a few of them. Okay. So we're talking about a hard market. Right now we're in one. For real estate folks, for mortgage brokers, this is a tough market to be in. And we often think, hey, I should put in this much effort. I should get this amount of results. Okay? The market, along with your skill set, determines whether that's actually true. Okay? So it may look more like, hey, I'm putting in 10 units of effort, if I can get my clicker to work, or 1 unit of effort, and well, let's go with this one. This is actually what would have happened 3 years ago. You guys know any real estate agents who could stay at home, party all night, watch Netflix all day, and still sold 20 houses a year? You guys know those people? I do. Where are they now? Broke. A good market, you have to determine, are you really good at what you do, or is the market really easy? In 2007 in cars, it was easy. 3 years ago in houses, it was easy. It is not easy now. The market looks more like this. You're going to put in 10 units of effort, and you're going to get 1 unit of result. Now, what you can do is you can increase your skills, you can find better mentors, you can find better products. All those things help you become more successful. If you don't put in the extra work, well, you got to find a new place to go, new job. So, let's see here. Here's what I recommend. We're talking about mentors, we're talking about learning. Know where you are as far as your ranking. So very often, let's say New York Life. New York Life has a lot of great producers, okay? Let's see here. Who's in a sales organization that maybe has 50 people or more? You? Okay. And what's your, the chamber? Sullivan. Okay. What else? Who else is in an organization? You? Like what? What's yours? Commercial insurance? Okay. I would highly recommend you look at not the people in your organization, but who is doing the most business in your county, in your field, the people who are also going to be their clients and your clients. Who's the best at it? Figure out who they are. Don't grade yourself on a curve. You look at inside your organization, you're grading yourself on a curve. You have to look at the whole market. Who's the most successful at what I'm doing? And right now, Brian Stocker is kicking my butt. Between this guy's 2 companies, because he does one property management and one real estate group, the guy's at something like 600 houses he sold so far this year. That's a lot. That is a lot of business. Jimmy Welch's team, Keller Williams' team, they've sold 56. A lot of these people are on teams. Mario Castano Reyes, I used to sell cars with her at CarMax. She's a sweetheart, 46 homes by herself. Right? I need to look at who's doing it the best and set my bar up there. And if I'm not able to get there, who do I need to learn from to do what they're doing? We have to look at it in that way. Sean Wallace with Purple Door, that's a 1% listing company. They sold 43. If you guys know Sean, he sings for Soul Circus. If you guys ever go out to Stevie Ray's, he plays there a lot. So here's Front Runner Real Estate. We've been in business since January. I've been in the business 10 years, but Front Runner Real Estate's been around since January. I look at this every month on the 1st. Right now, we've sold 32 properties amongst 5 people. We are number 105 out of 700 brokerages. We're in the top 15% in our first 8 months in business. That's something I'm proud of. It's not where I want to be, because I want to be in the top 10. But I know, hey, they're doing this production. I got to do production similar to get to that level. So look at where you are. If you're not in the top 20% of whatever you're selling for the market that you're in, you need to go, hey, how do I improve? The top 20% is where you want to be. That's the Pareto distribution. So let's see here. Last couple things. Negativity. Sales has a great way of creating negative people. Would you guys agree? When the deal didn't close like you wanted it to. So give you an example. 2008 hits, I'm in car sales. I'm brand new. I don't know anybody. Who are the first people who are going to bring me into their pack? Who's the first people that are going to come talk to me? The people who aren't selling. The negative people are the easiest to connect with, okay? Because they want to share that negativity, right? That's where everybody goes. Like every misery loves company. Oh my God, this market's terrible, blah, blah, blah. And I had a great sales manager. He gave me a book from Joe Girard. It's called Close Every Sale. Joe Girard was the most, prolific Chevy salesperson ever. He sold more cars than anybody. He had a Guinness World Record for 50 years. And one of the first things in his book is he said, stay away from negative people. You tend to see them clustered. They don't tend to be active. So the time that other people spend working, they spend complaining. You can always kind of identify them. They hang around in groups of 2 or 3. They get quiet when you walk past. Stay away from them, because negativity will kill you. Now, if I'm a negative guy and I'm hanging around negative people and I walk into a networking room, we got smiles. Smiles, openness, conscientiousness. These are all things that we can read on somebody the second we walk in. Are you closed off? Hands in pockets? Doing this type of thing? Well, even if you're not a negative person, that's the vibe you're giving out, right? So am I approachable? Well, it's going to be hard to do. So there's 3 types of smiles that are most commonly used. Does anybody know Pan Am Airlines? You guys remember this? This is St. Matthew's Young Professionals. So I doubt that most people know Pan Am Air. They were out of business before I was born. So Pan Am Air, the flight attendants were not happy with their job, not happy with their business. So the CEO goes, you know what? We need to get some chipper people around here. Everybody's mandated to smile. They actually made it a policy, you have to smile. And so every time you walk past a flight attendant on the way to get into your plane, you were like, That they didn't smile. They didn't have a real smile. They had a fake smile, a forced smile, a smile of, hey, I don't know you. I'll see you guys in a year. I don't know. Maybe you'll see me back in this airport, but I don't really care about you. Then there's the Duchenne smile. It's named after the guy who discovered it. I don't know how you discover a smile, but they named it. This is a guy out of Stanford. He's a social psychologist, and what he did was they tracked, smiles that don't really impress you to smiles that do impress you. And if you look here, it's a smile with your eyes. It tends to go up like this. And then you have a coy smile. If anybody knows Joy, she sells, Joy Bryant, she sells insurance, great local insurance agent. And she had the best coy smile I'd ever heard. And coy just means, I don't believe you. That coy, Well, that's the coy smile. Duchenne smile is the smile that you want to have. 20% of people can fake a Duchenne smile. It's very difficult to fake, but I would encourage you all to get good at it. It's the truth, because we are salespeople. Huh?
Isn't that Denny's girlfriend?
I don't know who that is. I just typed in Duchenne smile and it came up.
Way too old.
Yeah. There's a whole lot of comments we shouldn't make. All right. So please forgive, this is not a political reference. It was just a great tool, so I'm going to use it. Joe Biden, Duchenne smile. His cheeks are raised. You know, unless you got all the Botox, you're going to have some crow's feet, especially when you're out of St. Matthew's Young Professionals. It's going to happen. It's over here, right? And then you got John Boehner. If you guys remember, he was Speaker of the House 10, 15 years ago. This is a non-Duchenne smile. This is more of a Pan Am smile. This guy, at that time, very lovable. Everybody liked him. He was very warm and engaging and energetic. And in a room, I met Joe Biden. Joe Biden could work a room. That guy was good. Whether you like his politics or not, he was really good. John Boehner was more famous for crying, actually, a lot. He cried a lot. That's the truth. He was a very emotional person. So let's talk about this. What do we have here? No, it does look like a mugshot.
Drunk on the right, for sure. That's DUI over there.
Thanks, Justin. So we've got a Pan Am smile. What do we call this one? Who's more approachable? Another guy. I would cross the street if I saw that guy. Now, see this guy in a networking room, I'm going to like him, right? The smile matters. It's warm, it's open, it's going to help you. And remember, we can't have negativity in our mind or in our energy field when we're walking into these rooms if we want to be positive. Here's another guy. Another guy. This guy doesn't look very happy. He's very happy now, okay? Now, there's a lot to this, but let's talk about how welcoming the second photo looks to the first photo. Would you guys agree? Okay. If you're in a networking room, do you want to see people like number one or like number two? Two. Okay. Now, I love alcohol. I sell it. I make it. Alcohol is a great tool, and I think you should all imbibe as much as possible, especially in a networking room. Especially if you're buying this. But this is not a smile. This isn't from a smile study. This is actually from a wine study. So, 1 drink, 2 drinks, 3 drinks. This is where it goes, folks. Look at him. He's happy. Yeah, he's shedding clothing. Must have been tequila. And so the reason we highlight this is, folks, drinking and a social engagement and a networking room, totally fine, totally acceptable, do it, but just be very careful because your reputation precedes you, okay? If you get too drunk, it's this guy, this picture of this guy right here, it's going to follow you home, okay?
Probably gonna see it on the night.
There are members of the St. Matthew's Chamber who do not engage any longer with the St. Matthew's Chamber because they made the fools of themselves. I can tell you one from, close your ears, Virginia, from the annual dinner about 2 years ago. Yep. Yeah.
I have a resting bitch face and it's strong.
Yeah. That guy really screwed up, right? He stood up in front of 400 people, incoherent. Yeah, he couldn't even read his own award speech. He was too drunk, right? Guys, there's a fine line. You have to just be very careful with it, okay? So be positive. Don't be too positive because then you'll be this guy. All right, so I think my slides are a little out of whack, but I wanted to let you guys know sales is the propellant of your organization. If it doesn't happen, your organization fails. If you can't sell, your paycheck fails. I've been in 100% commission for 18 years in sales. I have never had a paycheck in 18 years. Not a W-2 paycheck. You got to figure it out, and you got to work hard. And I just gave you guys about 5 of the basics that I figured out when I went from no sales ability whatsoever. None. I was a mean fireman selling cars, and anybody who engaged with me probably for the first 6 months thought I was a jackass. Truthfully, I was rude. I didn't know I was rude. I didn't know how to talk to people. I didn't know. I had to learn. It was terrible. And I was like, God, I'm getting a lot of no's. And thank God I had some great sales managers and some mentors who taught me how to be good and taught me how to think about it. And so that's what I do now for other people. In our organizations, that's my primary role. I don't sell as much anymore. I coach, I teach, I train. I help people grow their businesses. So So please, if you guys need anything, always come talk to me. If you have a problem, you can always call me. I'll try to make my phone I'll try to be as available as I can. I ask that you do not leave me a voicemail because I will not listen to it. Text me or email me.
His voicemail actually says, "Don't leave me a voicemail."
Yeah, so do not leave me a voicemail because I get so many spam calls. You're a realtor, you're going to get 1 million health insurance phone calls and stuff like that. So I can't keep up with all the emails, or excuse me, voicemails. But that's it, guys. That's the end of the presentation. Is there any questions? Virginia, do I have time? I don't want to be rude. And, okay, Amanda? Okay. So questions, comments, anything that you guys want to talk about or you want to put out to the group? It's like, hey, maybe this is something we can work on. Jimmy?
How did you go about creating that list? I think that list is pretty powerful.
Which one?
The list that you had of all your competitors.
Greater Louisville
What their sales were.
Greater Louisville Association of Realtors publishes it. So I can see all of my competition. There's 6,500 agents in GLAR, Greater Louisville Association of Realtors. 3,475 have done a sale. That means they've sold half a home or more. So that means 3,025 have had 0 sales this entire year. That's what the market has done to realtors. Yeah. So that's, and just so you know, Jimmy, your organization might want to partner. So there are organizations that can pull all the data for counties on who does life insurance, stuff like that. So you just have to find what those ranking reports are and get a hold of those. Yeah? Who's got another one?
So what do? Do you go talk to the people at the top that are kicking your butt in sales and?
Well, it's a combination.
You just watch it to motivate yourself.
So the best loan officer in the city is Jesse Cronin. He owns North Point Bank. He owns a bank, North Point. He outperformed everybody in our industry. So we just started White Oak September last year. Everybody in our industry by, I think it was like $100 million in loans. It was insane how much he does. So every time I'm looking to learn, I'm going, what's Jesse doing? So I know people who know Jesse. I'm going to ask you a little question. Hey, how many people are on his team? What's their comp plans look like? Where does he get his leads? How long does it take from the start of the process to the end of the process? How many agents are sending him transactions? Where is he located? What kind of process or deals is he doing? Is he doing South End deals or East End deals? I want to know it all. And I'm going to follow him on LinkedIn, Facebook, and I'm just going to learn. I'm going to keep my ears open, and you hope that sometime you'll establish a relationship with people who want to help you. Now, you can't always go to number 1, but let's say I'm number 100. Let's say I'm 105 right now for our brokerage. I'm number 105, top 15%. Well, I can learn something from the guy who's 104. Actually, I know the guy who's 104, and I feel really good because I feel like we're beating him. He's got 19 agents, and he's done 1 more transaction than me. So we have 5 agents, and right, we're doing okay. But I can learn something.
I have a question.
Yo.
So this might be a little bit different per industry.
Yeah.
In my industry, when I have imposter syndrome, it's usually because I don't have confidence.
Right.
So I usually seek those who I think are better than me out
Mhm.
and sit down with a one-to-one with them.
Beautiful.
Do you do that for those top guys? Do you do that?
Yes, I have. And in our industry and in our area, a lot of them are very open.
Yeah.
Like, this is a great community. So I was a sales coach also in Kansas City, just independent. Kansas City networking is completely different. It's cutthroat. For instance, a chamber the size of St. Matthews, to get in it will cost you $5,000 a year. Yeah. You guys, we pay, what, 300-ish? I don't know. Something like that. And and San Francisco's worse. Most major markets do not have communities like we have. They don't have networks like we have. They don't have the support systems that we have. And everybody here is really nice. And most of the time, if there's somebody who's better at you at doing something, you reach out and say, hey, I want to learn. They'll be looking to open up a spot inside their organization for you to come in. Because if you say, hey, I want to learn from you, that's a powerful thing. We're all, as leaders, we're looking for people who want to learn, who want to grow, who want to adjust, who want to be better. Like, we don't hire B players. We have a rule. We don't hire losers. And here's what I mean by that. If I got to call you to get you out of bed in the morning, you will not work for me. Except Justin's the exception. No, if I got to call you, if I got to get you to stop watching Netflix until 2 a.m. so you wake up refreshed enough to get to work on time, I will not hire you. The people I want are the people I got to slow down, which is Justin, actually. Justin works his ass off, and he's fantastic. So when I talk to Justin, I'm like, okay, let's just pause. Let's take a step back. Here's how we got to do this. What's up, man?
Times in 1 week, actually. Same conversation.
And so this mostly applies to people doing products and services, but could you talk a little bit about how to avoid and not devaluing your product or your service to get the sale? Because especially when the market's rough, there's that really, it's a big temptation.
Do you have an example of a product that you're thinking of?
I mean, like, so, cutting labor or cutting a margin
Okay.
to get a deal, or
Yeah.
even just sometimes I know I've gotten over this,
Mhm.
but in the past in an attempt to almost to be humble, you kind of you cut your legs out from underneath you without even realizing it.
Yeah. I've got answers. Does the group have any answers to that? What's up?
Well, it happens a lot in my industry.
Yeah.
Because you get that new inspector out that
Mhm.
wants to get the business, so he's going to every realtor he knows, and it's usually not the top realtors.
Right.
And say, well, I can do that for $199 or
Yeah.
$299.
Mhm.
Well, I'm saying at 500.
Mhm.
So, and I know there's a lot of other companies out there that are bigger than me
Mhm.
that have 3 or 4 inspectors or more,
Mhm.
but they're still charging $600-700.
Yep.
So you have to build that value.
Well-
You can't, because when you start undercutting yourself, then what are you truly telling the client?
Right.
I'm not that great, but I want to give you the best
Quality
best
over
price.
quantity.
So I don't sugarcoat my numbers. I don't cut myself short. Somebody if they ask, can you do it for $299 because this other guy's going to do it for $299? I say, well, good luck with them. Because
What did you think? That's a good answer.
I say pretty much the same thing. I have a story to back it up. I spent some years in staffing,
Mhm.
and staffing that happened to the whole industry. And now nobody wants to use temp services because they're all crappy or they don't get good people. And the reason is they got undercut so much
Mhm.
that it now a lot of prospective employees think of it as a social service. Like
Yeah.
I'm gonna walk in and get a job
Mhm.
instead of you had to be qualified for it.
Mhm.
And people didn't want to pay for you to vet out their employees.
Mhm.
And they used one company against another for pricing and such. So I've lived through that, and it really disintegrated an industry,
Yeah.
in my opinion. So I say know your value and speak to your value.
So
And
let's talk about that.
If somebody else says they don't have the money, then maybe they do, and they're just seeing what you're gonna come down to.
So we'll probably wrap it after this one, guys, and I'm gonna step in here. I hear know your value a lot, but people don't describe to you how to go about doing that, right? It's this blank term. Know your value, okay. Well, how valuable am I? I don't really know, okay? So one of the things I would recommend, call past clients that you did a great job for. That's the first thing. Kind of stay in touch with those people because those people will give you energy, positive energy, and they'll pump you up every time. The second thing I would recommend is write a personal story for a lot of the objections that you get. Like a time when you recommended something that benefited a client and saved them from a loss, or a time when you made a recommendation and they did not take your recommendation and it caused them a loss. So put on paper personal stories of when your value and your expertise or your product helped a client through the next step, okay? The third thing is stay away from negative people because your negative people will cut their commissions to 0 faster than you can say it, right? So stay around positive people, people who are winning, and pick up some of that mindset. Hey, I can give away this deal. I would rather, for example, I know if I bring in somebody to my real estate organization and they want to cut my commission as a brokerage, I only charge 20%, guys. It's a very small commission for a brokerage. Okay, a lot of times you go to other organizations, they're charging 50, 60% commission. So if you make $3,000, you're giving away $3,200. Or excuse me, $6,000, you're giving away $3,200.
Well, it's almost like that.
Yeah, it feels like it. You're paying more than what you make. I know if I get a realtor who wants to lower my commission, my already low broker commission, that's the person I don't want. Because 80% of my problems will come from that segment of my brokerage. It's the same with your clients. So when you don't, you can feel comfortable that, hey, if there is an issue that comes up, I'm getting paid full price to solve it. Whereas if you start cutting your commissions or what you're charging for a product or your margin, that's the person who will always be your problem. Those are always your clients' their problems. These two, and then, guys, I think we should be done, or do I have time? I don't want to be rude.
Do 2 more, and
2 more? Okay, cool. Go ahead, guys.
I was just gonna say that, one of the things that I do is I will offer a discount after some volume. I'm not
Excuse me.
negotiating. I mean, we'll negotiate, you're welcome to pay me more. But, you know, I came at you with my bottom dollar, and I know what I'm bringing to the table, and I can show you a track record of what I'm bringing to the table. And if you will prove your shit, then maybe I can come down a little bit because volume is making up for it.
Yeah.
And I don't mind walking away from the deal.
Yeah, I mean, it's, and also have faith in your organization. You know, like, so I got 5 people on my team that I would trust with anybody. I mean, Justin's one of them. Just the most wonderful people. And I know if I can't do it, I have no problems handing somebody to Justin, say, Justin, take care of them. And I know they're going to get exceptional service. So I'm not going to lower my commission for, you know, somebody who wants A+ service but doesn't want to pay for it. C+ prices, there you go.
You know, you talked about education, so always educate yourself too, because there's a book out there called Conscious Business, building your value on values. So you have to have values in place. So if you don't think yourself as here, then you're always going to be down. That's kind of what that book teaches you. It's about Fred.
Well, and think of, like, another thing, like if you can pull like a ranking report, I don't know if you can, of where you are in your industry, okay? Where are you in your industry? If you're in the top 20%, you should be charging full price all the time. I mean, if you're in the middle tier, well then you go, okay, I need to continue to grow and maybe I need to charge average for the market prices. Be honest with yourself and say, hey, I charge average for the market prices, but I need to grow. I am growing, I'm working towards being better. And as you scale up, charge more. But you can see that on the reports if you have them. What else? Any other questions? Yeah, Jimmy?
We spent the last few moments talking about marketing.
Yeah.
Preferred marketing of choice. There's lots of different ways to market, but I think sometimes we confuse marketing with sales. Marketing.
Yep.
And we spend our time doing things that seem like we're doing sales activity that's really not sales activity.
Yeah.
So what is the right marketing that you would say for most people? Maybe break it down from like if you have a store, if you don't have a store, if you are a solo person versus the other team. Like maybe just touch on, that could be a whole other.
Man, well, there's a lot that comes to my mind there. The first thing I would say is I think a lot of people hide from marketing. It's painful to market. It's hard. It makes you uncomfortable. It's just like sales, right? It's very imposter syndrome, or it makes me feel, you know, kind of skeezy. I know a lot of realtors who have every designation under the sun, but don't sell any houses because people will hide inside of education. I've known people who have master's degrees that can't sell themselves out of a wet paper sack. You know, like they hide in what they're comfortable with. We always go to what we're comfortable with as humans. So if you're not comfortable putting yourself out there, you're going to hide. So that's the first thing. And marketing should be creating awareness around you, your brand, your product. So what is it that you do there? And it's going to be industry specific. So for me, for instance, when it comes to whiskey, I'm spending a lot of time doing podcasts or talking to whiskey influencers or entering the World Whiskey Competition or London World Spirits Competition because just being mentioned in those areas is going to get me a lot more traction. Now, we really don't distribute outside of Louisville unless you order it online. It can go to 48 states, but we only want to be here in Louisville because we only release 1,000 bottles a year. So like super small batch, super high quality whiskey. So when I'm doing it, what I'm doing is I'm marketing for, I'm helping people understand the scarcity and quality. That's what my marketing is about. Now, when it comes to real estate, these are the rooms that I want to be in. Mortgages, these are the rooms I want to be in. I love the chambers. Middletown Chamber, this chamber, changed my life. Like without the Middletown Chamber and this chamber, St. Matthew's is just the first chamber that I joined. Guys, I wouldn't be here. I wouldn't have the opportunity. I wouldn't have been in front of the people. You know, I got to work for the previous president, Tom Stone, and that was one of the most humbling moments in my life. Like to have a chamber president or some of the chamber staff who know everyone. There's 1,400 members now. Is that what there is? How many members do we have?
We're about there, yeah.
About there? Yeah. When I started, there was like 650. I remember there was a big celebration when we broke 700. Like, guys, it's humbling to work for other sales professionals or other professionals inside these chambers. These are the best of the best. These are the people that are out there constantly shaking hands and building relationships. You get an opportunity to do that, I highly recommend it. So as far as marketing, I tell all of my people the way that we do it, we don't buy leads. We don't buy any leads. I don't want that. I don't want that business. You should be marketing 30 hours a week during the fall, 15 to 20 hours during the summer. You should have your calendar planned out 3 weeks. You should have lunches 5 days a week with different people. You should rotate those lunches on a 90-day interval. For every networking room that you're in, you should schedule 2 coffees. So if I'm in this room, I want to get a lunch and 2 coffees out of it. Okay? And then I don't want to always hang with you, but the faster that you do touch point, no offense, but the faster that you do touch base with these people, so there's high value, high frequency. A handshake is a high value, high frequency engagement. Okay? If I'm just going to meet you once, Eric, and I'm going to put you on my email drip campaign that has a less than 2% open rate, it's a high frequency, low value touch point. How do I get 8 to 12 high value touch points inside of 90 days with you? Because if I only talk to you once or twice a year, well then when you're ready to sell your real estate, there's going to be someone else who you trust more, who you see more often, who you'd rather have a conversation with. I want to be in your sphere constantly, but I have to reserve those times, and so what I'll do is I'll have a lunch, we'll get to know each other, and then I'll see you at these rooms. And I'll touch base with you maybe 2-3 times a month from different networking. Third Thursdays, beer networking, this one, 505s. There's a lot of great rooms. Third Circle, we do some stuff with Third Circle. This community does not have, there's no lack of opportunities to network in this town. And there's a million great professionals and great people that you get. Some of my closest friends are in this room. Because over 10 years of doing it, you get to meet and love people. So marketing-wise, Jimmy, if you have more specific questions, just call me. We'll go drink whiskey and talk about it. Yeah. What else? Anything else? Just remember, guys, if you ever need me, please call me. If you guys have a question, or if you want a connection, or if there's somebody you know, or if there's something that comes up, just reach out. I'll try to get back to you as soon as I can. Thank you all.
Thank you so much, kids.
No problem.
Great. All right. We're gonna do some door prizes. Woo-hoo. I went around, got everybody's card. Hopefully you put one in here. The first one, do you have a card?
Mhm.
On the list is a Schreiner Spirits.
There you go. That is a 6-year-old double pot distilled rye whiskey made in Indiana by the best pre-prohibition distiller in the country.